Scene script. Have you ever thought about growing blackberries at home? If yes, then you're in for a treat. Imagine having a handful of fresh, juicy blackberries right at your fingertips, grown in your own little space. Sounds amazing, right? Well, it's not only possible, but also quite easy, and we're going to show you how. Growing your own blackberries has several benefits. First, it's cost-effective. No more spending on expensive store-bought berries. Second, you have control over what goes into your soil, ensuring healthier and more nutritious produce. Lastly, it's a fun and rewarding hobby that provides a sense of accomplishment. But what do you need to get started? It's simple: a water pipe, some good quality soil, blackberry seeds or seedlings, and a small space with plenty of sunlight. These are the basic ingredients to your very own homegrown blackberry patch. So, are you ready to start your blackberry growing journey? Grab your materials and let's dive right in. Choosing the right water pipe is crucial for growing blackberries. This is your plant's new home, so it's vital that you make the right choice. Let's talk size, material, and condition. First off, size matters. You're going to want a pipe with a diameter that allows your blackberries enough room to grow. Too tight and your plant will feel constricted, too loose and your plant will struggle to take root. Next up, material. Our recommendation is a PVC pipe. Why, you ask? Well, it's tough, durable, and easy to work with. It won't rust, it won't corrode, and it can withstand the elements. It's the Goldilocks of pipe materials, just right. Finally, condition. Make sure the pipe is in good shape. No cracks, no leaks. You want a secure home for your blackberries. Once you've got your water pipe, you're ready for the next step. Now, the water pipe needs a bit of preparation before we can plant the blackberries. Our first step will involve creating homes for our blackberry plants. To do this, we're going to cut holes into the water pipe. This process requires some precision, so let's take it slow. You'll need a hole saw attachment for your drill. The size of the hole should be just big enough to snugly fit the root ball of your blackberry plant. Make sure to smooth out any sharp edges around the holes to prevent damage to the roots or the plant's stem. Now let's talk about spacing. It's essential to give each plant enough room to flourish. Blackberries are not fans of overcrowding. A distance of about 1.5 to 2 feet between each hole should suffice. This spacing will allow each plant to have enough room to grow without competing with its neighbors for sunlight and nutrients. Speaking of sunlight, securing the water pipe in a location with ample sunshine is crucial. Blackberries thrive in full sun, soaking up 6 to 8 hours a day. So choose a sunny spot in your home or garden where the pipe can safely rest. You can use brackets or a sturdy stand to secure the pipe, ensuring it won't topple over under the weight of the plants and water. One more thing to consider is the pipe's angle. A slight tilt can help with water drainage, preventing water from pooling at the bottom of the pipe. This way, all plants will receive just the right amount of water, and the risk of root rot decreases significantly. So, to summarize, cut holes in the pipe, space them correctly, secure the pipe in a sunny spot, and remember the slight tilt for drainage. These are the key steps in preparing your water pipe for blackberry planting. With the water pipe prepared, we can now move on to the planting process. Now comes the fun part, planting the blackberries. Let's dive right in. If you're using seeds, place a couple in each hole, about 1/2 inch deep. If you're starting with seedlings, make sure the roots fit comfortably in the holes. Don't worry if they seem a little snug. Blackberries are hardy plants and they'll soon adapt to their new home. Either way, remember to be gentle. These little guys are just starting their journey and need a bit of tender, loving care. After placing your seeds or seedlings, it's time to cover them up. We'll use a good quality potting mix for this. The potting mix should be loose and well draining. You can make your own mix using 1 part compost, 1 part peat moss, and 1 part perlite. This mix will provide the right balance of nutrients, water retention, and drainage that blackberries need to thrive. As you fill each hole with soil, make sure to press down gently to remove any air pockets. You want the soil to be firm but not compacted. If the soil is too compact, it can restrict root growth and water movement. Once the holes are filled with soil, it's time to secure the plants. If you're using seedlings, you can do this by adding a bit more soil around the base of the plant. This helps to keep the plant upright and stable. If you're using seeds, you can skip this step as they're already safely tucked away under the soil. Now, give the newly planted blackberries a good watering. This will settle the soil and provide the plants with some much-needed hydration. Remember, the goal is to keep the soil moist but not waterlogged. A good rule of thumb is to water until you see a bit of water coming out of the bottom of the pipe. With the blackberries planted, it's time to move on to the care and maintenance stage. Growing blackberries is a rewarding experience, but it does require some care and maintenance. The journey doesn't end when the blackberries are planted. It's just the beginning. To ensure the health and productivity of your blackberries, you'll need to keep up with watering, fertilizing, and pruning. Watering is crucial for blackberries, especially during their first year. It's key to keep the soil consistently moist, but not waterlogged. In general, blackberries need about an inch of water per week. If it's a particularly hot week, you might need to water them a bit more. But remember, too much water can lead to root rot, so it's a delicate balance. Now, let's talk about fertilizing. Blackberries are heavy feeders. They need rich, fertile soil to produce a good yield. A balanced fertilizer like a 10-10-10 can provide the nutrients they need. Apply it in early spring as the new growth begins to appear, and again after harvest. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions for the correct amount. Pruning is another important part of caring for your blackberries. It promotes healthy growth and increases fruit production. After the harvest, remove the old canes that have already fruited. This makes room for new growth. In the spring, remove any weak or damaged canes. Also, trim back the tips of the canes to encourage lateral branching. But even with the best care, blackberries can still be affected by pests and diseases. Common pests include aphids, mites, and fruit flies. If you notice small, discolored patches on the leaves or tiny insects on the plant, you may have a pest problem. Insecticidal soap or a strong spray of water can often take care of these pests. As for diseases, blackberries can be susceptible to fungal diseases like rust and mildew. If you notice orange spots on the leaves or a white powdery substance, these could be signs of disease. Fungicides can help, but prevention is always the best cure. Make sure your blackberries have good air circulation and avoid watering the leaves directly. To promote healthy growth and high fruit yield, ensure your blackberries get at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight each day. Rotate your water pipe if necessary to make sure all sides get equal exposure. And don't forget to pick the berries as soon as they're ripe. This not only gives you a delicious treat, but also signals the plant to produce more fruit. In essence, caring for your blackberries involves a balance of watering, fertilizing, pruning, and vigilance against pests and diseases. It may seem like a lot, but the rewards are worth it. With proper care and maintenance, you'll have a harvest of juicy, delicious blackberries in no time. Growing blackberries at home is a simple and satisfying activity that anyone can try. We've walked through the steps together, choosing the right water pipe, preparing it, planting the blackberries, and caring for them. It's a journey that not only yields delicious fruits, but also teaches us patience and care. Imagine being able to pick fresh, juicy blackberries right from your living room or balcony. That's the magic of growing your own food. It's fresh, it's organic, and it's right there when you need it. Plus, you get the satisfaction of knowing you grew it yourself. So, why not give it a try? Convert that unused corner of your house into a mini garden. Let blackberries be the start of your gardening journey. There's a whole world of plants waiting for you to explore. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gardening tips and tricks. Happy gardening!